Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Monday. What is this, December 5th? And the subject of today's live stream is to talk training. All right. What is this, December 5th? Sorry about that. Forgot to mute the stream. Welcome back. Monday, December 5th. And the goal of today's live stream is to talk training. For the recently ended month of November 2022. And so I want to kind of first welcome everybody who is watching live. Hopefully there's more and more people watching these. I'm really enjoying doing the live streams, so I'd love to hear comments from all of you on any suggestions or things we can do to make these live streams better. But today's live stream is all about training, reviewing what we did in the month of November, what went good, maybe some things that we might want to change, and kind of what all of our goals are as we move into December, because we're already a few days into it. So I'm hoping to be able to do one of these training review, training talk live streams at the end of every month. So within that first week of when the month ends, do a live stream to talk about training. So to help make those better and better as we go along with these, the more participation and input I get from all of you, the better. So let me know in the comments as we're going through if there's any ideas or suggestions. If you're watching this live, and if you're watching this after the fact, the goal with these is to make these kind of, once again, evergreen type of videos, so that no matter when you watch this, maybe you can get some ideas and suggestions and things that you can use to improve the quality of your training, as well as the enjoyment of the training that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, that's really the important thing. We want to make sure that we are doing what we can to, to live longer, be stronger, improve our health and fitness. But it better be fun. It should be fun. If it's something that you dislike doing or you don't look forward to doing, then we need to make some changes, whether it's on what we're doing, how long we're doing it, the type of activities we're doing. The goal is to find things that you can do for the rest of your life, with the objective being improving the quality of your life all along the way and having fun doing it. So I'm going to go through quickly my results, what I had done for the month of November 2022, give you some ideas, kind of all the different types of activities I'd done, how much I had spent in each of those, with the focus on how much time am I spending in that all-important Zone 2. That is becoming a very popular theme here on the channel. I just posted last video last Friday on, what was that, December 2nd? Yes, December 2nd, talking about using Zwift, a very popular indoor cycling app, to do Zone 2 training. And that seems to be getting a good amount of traction. This is the time of year where people start doing a little more training indoors, typically because it's getting dark at the end of the day. When you get home from work, it's already dark, so it's really hard to go outside and do a workout, or maybe the weather is a little bit more inclement this time of year than other times of the year. Whatever the reason, indoor cycling and indoor training is becoming very, very popular, and tends to be very popular from November through March or April, basically the winter months. And Zwift is becoming one of the more popular ways to do training on primarily a bike trainer, but also Zwift is set up to do running. Peloton is probably the other one that a lot of people use. There's a lot of Peloton bikes out there, but I think you can get some of the tips from that video that I posted a few days ago on doing Zone 2 within Zwift, and you can probably apply that to Peloton as well. I've never used Peloton, but from looking around at their website, it looks like you can set up things similar within the Peloton ecosystem as you can in the Zwift ecosystem. So hopefully you find that video helpful. It seems to be getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are interested in indoor training. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. Kind of interesting, I think. I'll probably do a few more videos Zwift related here over the winter. One of them will probably be to do what's called an FTP test, functional threshold power. Talk a lot about how Zwift is using power or watts to determine your effort and everything within the Zwift game. So one of the ways to determine how strong you are, how fit you are, is to do what's called a functional threshold power test. So I'll probably do one of those here in the next month or so and post a video, so stay tuned for that. But this is not Zwift talk, this is training talk. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into a review very quickly of the November training that I did, talk about how I kind of split up my training time, what activities I did, and then hopefully that will prompt some comments from you either now live stream or after the fact. Be sure to post comments down below. If they're live here, I'll try to answer them, have a conversation, and kind of go back and forth with you here. If it's after the fact, leave a comment. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of trying to get back and read all the comments that are coming in and hopefully answer them as well. So if there's a question or something, use that comment feature either live or after the fact once this video posts. And I'll put chapters in the video as well, so that'll be done within the next day or so, but check that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the training summary for the month of November. And I mentioned this in the video that I did a month or two ago, kind of how I track my training, but I use a few different apps, but the main one I use is called Final Surge. And you will see that over here. It is an app. It's free. It's completely free to use as an individual athlete, and you can link it to Strava and other tracking. Garmin can dump in there. I think Training Peaks, if you use Training Peaks, can dump into Final Surge as well. So it's a free platform to use as an individual. And the great thing is it kind of aggregates all your activities, and the format is nice. You can set up custom workouts and all of that, but I really like it for the breakdowns that it gives on the reporting side of things. So let me kind of show you that here. You see up here, I've got, this is last month, all activities, duration by activity. So this is kind of a little bar chart showing all the days and all the activities I did on each of those days. So you'll see Monday, 11/28, I did some strength training, and that was all I did that day. If I go to Tuesday, I did a walk, and that was it. Wednesday, what did I do on Wednesday? I did a bike for an hour and 8 minutes. I would go back to one of these days, like what day did I do a bunch of different stuff? How about this one? Tuesday, November 8th, I did a run. And I also did a walk. So I did multiple activities, which is my goal, is to try to do something every day of the year. Now that something doesn't have to be a full-fledged Zone 2 workout or anything like that. It can be something as simple as just getting out and moving, going for a walk, doing that type of thing. So I think it's just really important to walk or do something every day. Our bodies are built to move, and it's a great way to just get out and get some exercise, break up the day, get some activity in. So even if I'm not doing a Zone 2 workout or intervals, or I'm not lifting weights, I can at least go out and do a walk or something like that. So you will see that. So you'll see that over the course of the month, I had a total of 58 workouts, total distance 325 miles. Now a lot of that distance is distance accumulated while virtual cycling in Zwift, but total duration 33 hours 37 minutes, so a little bit more than an hour per day. Some days obviously quite a bit more, like this day here on Sunday. I ended up doing almost 2 hours of activity in that day. Other days a little bit more. This last yesterday, Sunday, I ended up with like almost 4 hours activity because I did a long ride on Zwift. Later in the day, I did a shorter ride in the morning, and I went for a ruck in the morning as well. And so I've got it. So I did a lot of activity. My goal is to do something every day of the year, whether it doesn't have to be intense, just some activity. So it could be something as basic as doing a walk. So do that. And it's got to break down the different types of activities that I am recording. So you see bike, indoor row. I'll do a video on that. I've had a Concept 2 rowing machine for 12 years. I bought it in December 2010. I haven't used it as much this year because of my my hip. That's, for some reason, that motion seems to aggravate it. It's getting better, but I'm doing a little bit. But I really enjoy doing that. So I do indoor rowing, and then ruck. So this is something that I started doing with a buddy about a month or two ago. It's basically just putting weight in your backpack and going for a walk, whether on the around town or on the trails. So I've been trying to do that at least one day a week. We're walking at a decent pace, maybe between 15 to 17 minutes per mile. So a good intentional pace walking. So 3.5 to maybe 4 miles an hour. And I've just started off with just a regular laptop backpack, and dropped in 2 weight plates, dumbbell plates, so a total of 20 pounds. And I just put that in, strap it on, and go for a walk. It gets the heart rate up a little bit. Most of where we walk around here local is level, so it's not a big thing. But the main thing is it does build up and strengthen the muscles in the upper back. And I find that's really beneficial. So I'm enjoying doing that. I'm going to try to get out and do some rucks on the trails, but I've added rucking as a specific activity to do. Then running, which has been kind of my preferred activity for the last 40 years. I'm getting back into it. I was really good in September and October, and then I've started having a little bit. I don't know what I did. I might have tweaked it or something, but I've had to dial that back a little bit in November. I think I'm getting back now, but running has been my preferred activity. It's just outside and all of that. So that's main one. Strength training. So that is going to be primarily my weights, on which I usually do on Monday and Friday, and then I've done a little bit Wednesday, more body weight, so pull-ups, chin-ups, push-ups. I'm going to start adding that back in on Wednesday, and then walk. So 6 primary activities that I try to at least categorize by. So pretty happy with that. I did something every day. Try to alternate hard days and easy days, but try to get some activity in every day of the year if possible. Okay, so what's interesting is I've obviously want to do a big focus on that zone 2 training, aerobic training, building those mitochondria, doing everything that we need to do to improve our fitness, and hopefully all the evidence seems to show that doing good quality zone 2 training can also increase our longevity and health span as we go along. So I'm doing a big focus on that. So I've got all my heart rate zones set up, and so let's take a look. By activity, here's run, heart rate. Zone 2, 87.8% of the time. A little bit in zone 3 and a little bit in zone 4. Mainly there's some artifacts there. I go by a certain spot when I'm running around here, and whether it's wrist-based or if I have the heart rate strap on, the heart rate will shoot up, up to 160 or 170, and I'm just going along where my heart rate should be, maybe 115 or 120. So there's some artifacts there, but 87% of the time zone 2, and that's my focus right now and for the next few months, is to do very focused zone 2 training in whatever type of aerobic I do. So I've been very happy with that. Now if I go to bike heart rate, once again, about 63% zone 2, 23% zone 1. So not all in zone 2, but it's not hard effort. I've got a little bit in zone 3, which is tempo or that kind of that mid pace. So very happy there. Cross training, walking, heart rate, not much happens there. Everything is almost all zone 1, a little bit in zone 2 if I walk fast up a hill, but it's all pretty much just that low, 90, under 110, 112 for me, which is perfectly fine for walking. Indoor rowing, I've done a little bit of rowing. Nope. And I didn't set up my rowing heart rate until just last week, so it's not recording it, but I've done a little bit, and typically the rowing I've been doing is zone 2, although the concept 2 is fantastic for doing interval training. So you'll probably see some of that come into play here in December and January. And then the last one, rucking, kind of the same thing, I think, as, rowing. I just set that up over the weekend, so it's not recording. But it'll be kind of the same thing. Rucking, depending how much weight and the terrain, I've been able to get my heart rate into low zone 2 if I'm really working it. At most of the time is right at the low level of zone 2. So that's probably what you'll see when I do this next month. So very happy with all of that. If I break down by activities, just another report feature within Final Surge, had a total of 12 hours and 57 minutes in biking, and that's all indoor cycling on a trainer on Zwift. Indoor rowing, I've done about an hour 42 amongst 6 or 7 workouts. So getting back into it, I tweaked kind of the hamstring a little bit. I think that's more a function of me not stretching it as much as I should be. I think I've got that ironed out, so I'll probably start doing some more rowing. Rucking, 4 hours of that. So essentially 3 Sundays that I've gone out and done rucking, and those tend to be 4.5 miles, so an hour and a half, something like that each time. And then running, 6 hours and about 40 minutes of running. That'll flip-flop. My guess is for the next couple months, cycling will be, indoor cycling will be more than running, just because it's not as high impact. So if I want to do 2 hours of zone 2, I can do it very easily on a bike compared to running. I'm going to work up to that level, but it's going to be a few months before I get there. So you will probably see, for me, the next few months, time cycling or Zwifting is going to be more than running for at least probably the next 2 to 3 months. Okay, and then last thing, strength training, about 5 hours. So got in, I'm doing 2 every week and a couple where I did a little bit on Wednesday. So feel pretty good about that. And then walking, about 3 hours and 11 minutes. So a good variety, and that's something that I really, what's changed for me the last year or two specifically, especially this last year, is making sure that I get a little bit of variety in what I'm doing, rather than just doing running like I did for so many years. Got a lot of benefits from that, but I don't think it was ideal. So I'm trying to mix things up. So it seems to be working. So that is, once again, in using Final Surge, and that's something, if you're looking, there's a lot of different systems for tracking your workouts and what you're doing. But if you're looking for something to do that, check out Final Surge. It is entirely, completely free for an individual to use, and I found it very useful. So you can just go to finalsurge.com. I'll put a link in the description to it as well. So that's my training for November. Was pretty happy with it. A couple things that I am not as happy about is that I'm still getting a little bit of. I'm finding that I have to be very, very deliberate with the prehab on the hip and the hamstring. When I pay attention to that, that's the thing that I've been the worst at, really. Even with the injury, it's still a challenge for me. I'm getting better, but I really have to be a lot more intentional about that. When I do that, when I take the time, the 15 minutes before I get into the workout, everything seems to be fine. So I really have to focus on that. But generally, overall, pretty happy with how November went. My plans for December are to essentially kind of continue the same, down that same basic path. I will probably be doing a little bit more Zwifting, try to get the running up a little bit more, try to introduce some rowing, start off a little easier, see how that goes, and see if I can add more body weight stuff on Wednesdays. I've been doing barbell strength training on Mondays and Fridays, so if I can add in Wednesday and get more consistent with doing body weight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, also adding in some lower body strength stuff, real basic stuff at this point, box squats, single leg box squats to kind of work on the hip and the hamstring, and that seems to be working. So I think the goal for me, and I think a lot of people, especially as we get older, is to try to be as consistent as possible, because by doing that, then that means that you're probably healthy, you're not injured. If you're injured, you can't exercise. So the goal is to do whatever you can to keep exercising, but do it in a way that keeps you injury free. And I've had my experience with that this year. I'm stubborn. I just tend to be a pretty stubborn person. So doing the prehab and that type of thing has taken me a while to get used to, but it finally getting through my thick head that I need to do more and more of that. So that's my biggest challenge, is to just get in the habit of spending more time on the pre-workout warm-up and stretching and mobility stuff and post-workout. When I do it, I feel great. I just need to be more consistent about doing that. And the way things will be going moving forward is probably December, January, and February. So these next 3 months, the winter months, I'm going to focus on continuing to build strength, doing the strength training, and primarily zone 2 for both indoor training and running, although I am going to start introducing some more intense intervals, probably on Zwift, in the form of harder workouts, or doing some races on Zwift, probably time trials on Zwift. Those are just pretty much go as hard as you can for that distance to see how fast you can cover a particular distance. I'll probably introduce a few of those into the mix to kind of count as those hard days, as well as climbing up the virtual mountains in Zwift, Alpe du Zwift, which is a GPS replica of Alpe d'Huez in France, where it's a very famous climb for the Tour de France, and the other one is Mount Ventoux in Zwift, which is called Ventop. So once again, even though it's on a trainer and you're in a cartoon, the game and your smart trainer do a really good job of making it difficult. So it does a great job of simulating pedaling up a hill. And that's one thing I seem to do pretty good at, is those long, consistent efforts at not all out, but in that upper sweet spot area. And that seems to be something that my body tends to be more suited for. So it's tough, but it's a challenge to get up those. They keep track. Zwift keeps track of your recent efforts, so your PRs, all time plus recent 90 days. So it's a good way to do a little bit harder workout every once in a while. So I'll start introducing those into the mix as well. Now, don't know if we've got anybody watching live. If so, chime in. Let me know. I'd be interested in hearing how all of your training is going, or what has happened in November, and kind of what you're looking to do for December, and maybe goals into 2023. If you're watching this after the fact, use the comments and share with everyone what you were doing, kind of what's worked, what hasn't worked, anything you want to do to share and kind of help other people learn, I think would be fantastic. Because one thing that is, I think true is that I know that there's just information everywhere on working out and fitness and training and all that, and none of it is right for everybody, and none of it is completely wrong for everybody. There's something for everybody in there. The challenge is trying to sort out what is right for you based off of what your goals are, where you are in life, where you are in your fitness journey, so to speak. Where are you along that path, and what do you need to do in order to continue to move forward in the way that you want to? So anything that we can do, I think, as a community here at Life Maximus, such as it is to share what we know, what works for us, maybe what doesn't work for us, and hopefully we can build a kind of an ongoing conversation around all these things. My goal is to try to put out videos and stuff that kind of share my experiences with doing this for the last 40 years, and hopefully you watching it can get some ideas and some motivation and help you along your way, and then we can share with each other our own experiences. So use the comments below. I will make an attempt to answer every comment or reply to every comment that I possibly can, and make sure that we just have that flow of information, sharing our own experiences. So I think that's very, very important. If there's any questions, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I've enjoyed this. Let me know if you like this. Is this something you want to see on a regular basis? I'm more than happy to do this once a month as a live stream, just reviewing training, talking about goals, what worked, what didn't, and maybe get some more input from all of you into what you are doing, and maybe we can just start a dialogue on a monthly basis. So let me know if this is something that is working for you or not. Hopefully it is. And with that, I will let you go. If you're not a subscriber to Life Maximus and you want to be part of the community, I'd love to have you as part of the community. So be sure to hit that subscribe button down there that I'll post after the fact, and give us a thumbs up. That really, like I say this in every video, but it's true. It gives, it's the best way to kind of get the word out there about what is going on here at Life Maximus. I think we have a little different take on health and fitness than a lot of the other channels on YouTube. So I'd like to get the word out to more and more people, and giving a thumbs up is a great way to do that. That specifically does help YouTube spread the word. So if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe and give us a thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. And until next time, hope this was helpful. Enjoy your week, stay safe, and we will see you next time. All right? Be well.